come join us in this village, right? And I was like, how can you be in America and still think you are in a village? Like the culture shock for me was the level of quote unquote poverty.
Been feeling trapped down on the floor. I don't know what for. Feels like I'm gonna lose. Silence takes a hold. I can't let it go. Chain up, no one knows. But I won't let the storm.
Guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking. If you haven't already subscribed, just hit that subscribe button down below and come join my family on YouTube. Also, hit the notification bell so that whenever I put out a video, you can be notified and you can go watch it. So today with me, I have a guest who's going to be joining me. His name is Richard, and he's from the channel Globally Engaged. And he's a Ghanaian who migrated to the United States for school. And I'm going to be having a very interesting conversation with him. So if you're interested in this sort of video, just keep on watching. Hey, Richard, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you too?
I'm fine. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you for having me. And I've been checking out your content, and that's some amazing content you have. I'm particularly jealous about the fact that you've been to Ghana twice, especially on the year of return. And just watching your videos about going to Ghana makes me miss it so much. But hey, hopefully all this pandemic situation gets sorted out and I can go visit home for a while. So yeah, thank you so much for having me on your channel.
Yes, and guys, he's also a YouTuber. You know, his channel is Globally Engaged, and I'll leave his link down below. So if after you've watched this, you're interested in go checking him out, then go ahead and do so. He went to the US as a student, but now he's working as an academic advisor. So he knows all the tips, all the tricks for all Ghanaians who want to come abroad to go study. Then he's the guy to check out. So make sure you check him out. All right. So yeah, Richard, you know, I spoke to you and I really wanted to have this conversation with you because a lot of talk has been going on about people going back to Ghana, people not being encouraged to leave Ghana, basically to stay and to build up Ghana. But after speaking to a lot of Ghanaians specifically, I know a lot of them still have that American dream. A lot of them still want to leave Ghana for greener pastures to make their fortune and then return. So I just want to talk to you, why do you leave Ghana? What were your expectations when you left Ghana? And was there anything different when you went to the US? Were the expectations, the same as you expected? Yes or no? So let's first start with, why did you leave Ghana?
That's a very interesting question. So I left Ghana because I came here to grad school, as you already said. And for me, if anybody had told me in 2017, even in May, that I was going to leave to come to the United States, I was not going to spend the rest of 2017 in Ghana, I wouldn't have believed it. Because then I was in grad school in Ghana and I'd also applied to do my master's in Ohio. So I didn't know I was going to get into the program, and everything happened so quickly. So my main reason for leaving Ghana was to come and see what the American educational experience is all about. Because when you are outside of the United States, you hear so many different things. You see so many different things, especially on the news, in the TV, in the movies and stuff like that. So that was mainly why I left. Yeah, I left to come here to go to school.
Okay, so let me ask you, was it because you thought that the education that you would have received in Ghana would not have been on par, or it was just curiosity, as you stated?
The Ghanaian educational system gives you a different vibe, a different perspective, a whole different experience, because it helps you to look at things from a Ghanaian perspective or from an African perspective, the professors and all of that. But what it lacks is the practicality. So in Ghana, most of our educational systems, and I know some of the viewers are going to agree, and definitely if you have anything to agree, don't forget to leave those comments in the comment section below, be a part of the conversation. They're going to tell you that in the Ghanaian educational system, you get to learn so many unnecessary things that you're not even going to need when you graduate from school, right? The American educational system offers you an opportunity to basically build yourself up in a way that you want. So for instance, when I first came here, I didn't even know that you get to pick and choose your classes irrespective of what programs you are in. So if you are in a certain program, there are core classes that you need to take that are specific to that program, and there are elective classes that you can take. So you could take a yoga class, for instance, you could take a wrestling class, for instance, and they all count towards credit. So what I've seen about the American educational system is that it offers you an opportunity to basically customize how you want your educational experience to be. You get to pick and choose classes that is going to be relevant to you, not just in school, but long term moving forward.
Oh, so you're
Mhm.
saying that in Ghana, it's not tailor made, but it's just like prescribed. So
Exactly.
your program, and these are the courses that you have to do. These are the core courses. Your electives are given to you. You don't have a choice. Oh,
Exactly. Exactly. And so when I was in Ghana, I did strategic communications. So every single person who was in my cohort, we took the same classes. I saw the same faces.
oh, okay.
Exactly. But then in the US, you get to pick and choose classes. So undergrads are taking master's level classes. A master's student is taking like a PhD level classes. You get to sit in a class of people with different academic statuses and people from different countries and cultures, which gives a whole global perspective. So the reason I came aside from all of this was that I wanted to add a global perspective to, my knowledge base. How do you add a global perspective without leaving your comfort zone? So that is another reason I came here. So for me, my education that I'm getting in the US is just complementing the strong foundation that I have from Ghana.
Okay. All right. So it's 2017. You boarded the plane. Was this your first time traveling? Was that your
Yep. No,
so
that was the first time I traveled outside of Africa. I've been to Nigeria, but it was by road. Yep.
okay. All right. So this is your first time going on a plane. This is your first time leaving the continent. What were your thoughts? What were you expecting? So I'm assuming then that the information that you had about America was just basically from like movies, right? So what were you expecting? What were your core expectations?
So for me, I'm going to backtrack a bit because for me, I was privileged to have met and hang out, got to know and develop friendships and relationships with quite a number of American students, right? But yes, so I got to meet Mark, I got to meet Renee, Keshima, and all these people. And Keshima's cohort
Mhm.
back in 2006, I believe, was the first group of American students that I met. So
Okay.
just conversations and all of that, I was exposed a little bit to the culture. So again, that complemented what I was seeing in the movies. And of course, coming from a media background, I know that the mass media has the power to make you think and see what they want you to see and believe. So I knew that what I was seeing in these movies is not a true representation of what America is. But without yes, but having said that, again, I came with my own biases, right? Of course, this is America, land of milk and honey. You walk into a store, you pick anything you want, like and also because of things that people who have come here before us portray on social media. So it's like it's heaven, right? And then you come here. So yeah, I had multiple expectations. Coming here, just walking into my campus for the first time, most of my expectations were shut down.
I'd love to hear that. I'd love to hear the experiences, please. See how many you
All
can
right.
share with us briefly.
I mean, so I schooled in a very small college town called Athens. Shout out to all Bobcats out there. Amazing college town, really
What state
small people.
was it in? What
Come
state
again?
was your college in? What state was your college in?
Ohio. So I attended Ohio University, the green and the white, the Bobcats. And you know, when I was coming here, I had a friend who was like, "Come join us in this village," right? And I was like, "How can you be in America and still think you are in a village?" When I got into Athens,
Mhm.
and have living there for a while, I realized that it was a whole different vibe. Like the culture shock for me was the level of quote unquote poverty. So
No, but let me ask you though, because this is very interesting because as I said, a lot of Ghanaians are coming to the US for a better life,
mhm,
It's the land of milk and honey, it's a land where, where money grows on trees. But then I'm
mhm.
hearing you say people are still using coal. relying on coal as an industry. People were poor. You mentioned poverty.
Mhm.
Really?
Exactly. So that was again the culture shock, because when you hear poverty, the first thing that comes to mind is Africa, some part of Middle East. But then this community heavily relied on the coal industry. And so once the coal industry died, a lot of people didn't, a lot of people don't have jobs, and really, and it's also been hit a lot with the opioid epidemic.
Okay.
So that was interesting that, okay, there's a certain level of poverty in this country, but you don't really get to see it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So that made me start looking at things more critically. And I started realizing that not everything that you see on TV is
Mm-hmm.
actually what is. Same way somebody would think in Ghana we live on trees, and then you make a nice video about going to Ghana and seeing five-star hotels and
Mm-hmm.
going to, so again, we all carry those biases. The second expectation that I had, again, people think that, you can work as much as you want, is when I realized that as a student, I cannot work outside of my campus, and I can only work for a job that belongs to the school.
Okay.
Even with that, I can only work 20 hours a week. And so, in as much as you want to put in the grind and the effort, there are immigration rules and laws that prevent you from doing that. Um, One last thing I was going to say is that you think that you you can identify with everybody who shares the same skin color as you,
Mm-hmm.
until you realize that there's a divide, right? I was given a quick reality check in my first few weeks.
So
Even in class, I had some people who I would encounter people who would be like, "Hey, how come you come from Africa and you speak very good English?"
So you're saying that you expected because you were interacting with people who had the same skin color as you did, that they would be welcoming, but that was not the case. That you were
I
treated
mean, it's not.
differently by some
Yeah,
people
it's.
who were African.
Mhm.
So there's a
Yeah.
divide between Africans and African Americans.
I believe there is. I believe there is. But then again, too, there's a historical precedence, right? Even in Africa, there are multiple cultures, and they are going to be divided amongst that. There are some tribes in Ghana that will not allow anybody from that tribe to marry into another tribe just because of historical issues. So I don't really take those things personally. I wish there was a lot of conversation around it to see where those frictions
Those
were, so that we can sort of rebuild and bridge those gaps. But yeah, I believe personally that um, there's a divide.
Richard, so even though you came with certain expectations and some of those expectations were shut down, do you think that it was still a rewarding experience for you? Do you think it was?
110%. Like, being in this country, irrespective of all whatever is going on, like, I still say that I'm living some people's dreams.
Mm-hmm.
If you should go to the American embassy right now, if you should even run a survey on your channel and ask um, how many people are interested in going to school, like, people are applying to come to school all the time, because I keep saying that when you look at Ghana and the lack of efficient infrastructure. I mean, you've experienced our country, you've seen the buses that we sit in. Even trying to get internet is a big deal. And you come to a country like this where the social structures work for the most part. It tells you that the little effort you put into the grind is going to pay off. And I'm living proof, and I tell my students that the society has given you what, like, the basic stuff for you to survive, like good roads, um, electricity 24 hours a day. And Ghanaians can relate. Like, we walk around thinking about, okay, is lights going to go off? When are we going to have lights? And here, I don't even have to worry about when my phone is hitting
You know,
5%.
so for the 2 times I've been in Ghana, light has only been, gone off once.
Well, lucky for you. Maybe you stayed in the rich areas where, the big men.
Park live.
So yeah, for me, it's been a very rewarding experience, and that is why I started my YouTube channel, to sort of share my experience and to encourage people. Yes, it's not easy. It takes a lot of hard work, grind, sacrifices. When I came to the US, I was doing two jobs. One of my jobs involved working in the library from midnight to 5 a.m. So I work, and then I go to my other job at 7, close at 12:30, rush to my class at 12:45. No sleep. I try to encourage people that, look, when you first get here, it's going to be difficult. acclimating to 4 different seasons in a year is hard. I was layering up as early as October. And I remember one day Mark sent me a message and he was like, "How are you dealing with the cold?" And I'm like, "It's cold." And he's like, "Dude, it's not even winter yet, but it pays off." And I try to share that experience with other people and even my students to be like, if you are in school now and you think school is hard, that is your experience. But I'm telling you this story to give you perspective. There are people in my country who will give anything just to have this educational experience.
All right, so let me ask you now, Richard, will you ever go back to Ghana?
Home is always going to be home. Come on, are you kidding me? Like, I miss the fufu and the wache and all of that. I miss Ghana always. I was planning to go back, but then executive order came, and so. But yes, I'll definitely go back to Ghana. And start, trying to be a resource there too. Right now, I'm sort of doing a few things, trying to bridge certain gaps, trying to start working on certain projects. But home is always going to be home. Like, regardless of which nationality you are on paper, home is always going to be home. So,
So you've completed your master's, sir. You've completed
mhm.
your master's. Are you going to be doing a PhD anytime soon? Thinking about it?
um, yes. So I actually got into a PhD program, and I gave that up because I got this job.
To sum this up, Richard, 3 sentences. Sum this up. Your expectations, reality, and any advice for any young Ghanaian who wants to. By the way, how old are you?
Guess.
Okay. With 30, 30, 31.
Close.
Help me out, I
Close.
guess.
I will be 37 in April this year.
Well, stop it. You don't look a day over 30. But anyways, all
Yeah,
right, girls, he's single. So if anybody is interested, just put a comment, leave it in the comments, girls. I'll give you the hook if anyone is interested, okay? So again, to sum up, Richard, yeah, tell me, 3 sentences, expectations versus reality, and just any advice for any young Ghanaian who wants to go abroad for school. 3 sentences.
all right. Okay. Expectations. Don't get your expectations up there. The reality is that it is, don't get sucked into what you see on social media, especially what people portray. It's easy for somebody to stand beside somebody's car and take a picture and make you think that is their car. The reality is that a lot of people are grinding, a lot of people are hustling and struggling. So if you have friends and family in the United States or abroad anywhere, all you can do is keep them in your prayers. All you can do is pray for them. They may not be sharing exactly to the extent of what they are going through, but it helps to at least, instead of saying that I asked you for this and you didn't send it to me, people are really grinding. There's not, like, holidays are really limited. Time is money here. And so that the reality is that if you are not sowing the seed, you are not putting in the hard work, nothing is going to change. And for anybody who wants to school in the US, it's absolutely worth it. If not just the US, outside of Ghana, Nigeria, wherever you are watching from, I always say that comfort never comes from the progress never comes from comfort zone. You need to leave your comfort zone to see how far you can push yourself. And so if you want to come to school here, I've made tons of videos on tips and tricks and things you need to be doing. But yes, find a school, find at least 3 schools that has the program that you are interested in. Also, start looking at what requirements you need. If you are already in school, start working on your GPA and things that will help you get good scores for your admission process. Reach out to the schools, talk to them. Hey, I'm interested in doing XYZ program. I don't have finances. How can the school help me? Most of the educational institutions value what international students bring to domestic students. And that is how come they give a lot of funding. There's a lot of scholarships out there. If you know where to look, if you know how to search, and if you are serious about it, put in the time, put in the effort, do your research, ask the right questions, and do it. It's better to try and not succeed than not try at all. So
Okay, thank you, Richard. Thank you so much for having this conversation with me. And as I said,
Yeah.
leave in his information down below, and he has tons of information to give you on how to apply, how to get funding, what things you need, all of that good stuff. So if you're really interested in going abroad to study for whatever reason, then go check his channel out. He's globally engaged, but I'll have it running across the screen so you can go check him out. All right, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. And if you've watched this far and you haven't subscribed as yet, just hit that subscribe button down below and come join my family on YouTube. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you're finished, well, if you're almost to the end and you haven't done that as yet, just go ahead and do that. It really does help me a lot. It helps YouTube to recommend the video to other people who might be interested in seeing it. So go support your sister. Thank you, and see you in my next vlog. Bye.
All right.